Guys, some incredible news just came out. Get ready, hold on to your seats because this is explosive news. And this one, Warrior Z, is one of those. First, is everyone okay? Dragon Ball Daima ended at the beginning of the year. And since Dragon Ball Daima, there hasn't been any news as powerful as the news I'm about to share with you here. All good? Watch until the end so you understand everything. Grab your popcorn because this is serious business. Guys, it has just been confirmed that we will have not one, but 2 Dragon Ball projects being announced. And in this video, you will see the nature of these projects. The sources, of course, I always give the sources in all my videos, so this is serious news, not clickbait. First, let's get to the facts. The official Twitter account, which was DBS 2015, the official Dragon Ball Super account, launched at the beginning of Dragon Ball Super, and which was the official account, changed its name to DB Anime Info. What do you mean? That alone wouldn't mean much, but they posted something very interesting that changes everything. I won't go into detail about it because everyone knows about the legal battle that was going on between Akira Toriyama's former right-hand man and the current commercial representative of Dragon Ball, and Shueisha, the current owner of the Dragon Ball Super manga, and the reason why Dragon Ball Super hasn't returned to this day, because at various points throughout history, Dragon Ball Super was about to return. In fact, several people have been reporting this news for a long time, but something always happened. On January 25th, 2026, the Dragon Ball Genki Dama Festival will take place, and it has everything to do with the news I'm sharing today, guys. And why is that important? Because 2026 marks the 40th anniversary of the Dragon Ball anime, which was released in 1986. Comment below which generation of Dragon Ball you come from. From the older generation, I'm particularly from that era. If you are too, you're also getting old. Or if you're from the internet Dragon Ball generation. The manga itself started in 1984, but the anime debuted in 86, and they're going to celebrate in style. In the commemorative logo, it has all of Goku's transformations. From the classic, it has Daima's Super Saiyan 4, but curiously, it doesn't have GT's Super Saiyan 4. Interesting, right? After all, the timeline with the new canonical Super Saiyan 4 in quotes is that of Dragon Ball Daima. And as things stand, you know that off the record, I always follow the latest Japanese Dragon Ball news, the pages, the producers, the animators, everyone, so that when news comes out, I can bring it here firsthand to you. But only when it's relevant, and as things stand, it looks like Dragon Ball Daima is going to make sense with Dragon Ball Super because Dragon Ball has countless retcons, guys. Dragon Ball Super Superhero itself is about to connect with End of Z, that episode where Goku meets Oob in the martial arts tournament, which takes place about a year after the Gohan Beast superhero movie, chronologically. But if you analyze the final episode of Z and this movie, there are already countless inconsistencies, so all the inconsistencies regarding Daima and Super, and now comes the part that confirms that this is serious business, because there are 2 big name guests. The first guest is simply the symbol of Dragon Ball, and she only attends the most serious events, mainly because she is elderly, and they wouldn't have her wasting her energy unnecessarily, and the other is simply the owner, in quotes, of Dragon Ball today. First is Masako Nozawa, who is the voice of Goku, the Japanese country bumpkin Goku. I like to say that Goku is a character in every language. In Portuguese, he is relaxed, he is funny, he is interesting. In English, he sounds more like a superhero. In Japanese, he sounds more like a country bumpkin, as it seems more so when you read the manga, and she will be present at this event. And the other is Akio Iyoku, that's right, the executive producer of Dragon Ball, owner of Capsule Corporation Tokyo, which not coincidentally has the same name as Bulma's company in Dragon Ball, and he was responsible for launching Dragon Ball Daima. So Dragon Ball was on hiatus for a long time. He participated in Shueisha and the Dragon Ball Room, which was basically a room where the main names related to the franchise would meet and they would decide what to release, what would happen, the new direction of the franchise, and he participated in that room. And for him, it was unacceptable for an anime the size of Dragon Ball not to have a sequel. Just imagine how long Dragon Ball has been on hiatus since the end of the Tournament of Power. So he rebelled, left, and even though Shueisha didn't approve the continuation of Dragon Ball Super because he argued with everyone, he went ahead and released Daima together with Akira Toriyama. A lot of people didn't like it, but in the end, Daima's goal was to bring the Dragon Ball franchise to children who had never watched Dragon Ball, which is why the anime is the way it is. Those who watch it expecting it to be like the old Dragon Ball will be disappointed, but someone who has never seen it will probably like it. Because in a way, the anime is fun, but it has a lighter mood. And guys, when these 2, Masako Nozawa and Akio Iyoku, are in the same place in Japan, you can be sure that something big is coming. And Iyoku always appears officially in Dragon Ball products, that is Dragon Ball Daima, practically all the games. And it was he himself who gave us the information that interests us most here about these confirmed projects. Many people are looking forward to a new anime because there are people who don't have the patience to read manga, don't play Dragon Ball video games, but like anime. So let's get down to business. What has been confirmed so far? Remembering that the source is Geekdom 101, currently the main Dragon Ball leaker, also the main disseminator of Dragon Ball news, not only currently, but since Dragon Ball Super. So you can check the sources, it's all real. First, a new game will be released soon, so. It's not a DLC. It's not an update. It's a new game. It's probably not another game like Dragon Ball Sparking Zero because we just got one. Second confirmation, 2 mysterious projects. So the game isn't one of those 2 projects? Exactly, folks. It's not. There are 2 new projects besides this game. And pay attention, I'm going to list the possibilities for these new projects based on all of Iyoku's interviews. He says that Dragon Ball can't go too long without anime. He says that Dragon Ball anime will continue. And he always gives these confirmations that he won't let Dragon Ball stop. What are the main hypotheses based on the Dragon Ball community? The leakers, the people who permeate the team, for example, friends of the team, Geekdom 101 itself, the main Dragon Ball informant in the world today. Let's go. First, we have the possibility of the return of the Super manga. It is worth remembering that Toyotaro had already said that the Super manga was not going to end, and indeed the Super manga has no indication that it will end. It went on a temporary hiatus after Akira Toriyama's death, but it's very likely that this is because the mangaka's routine is very exhausting, and Toyotaro needed a break or even time to develop a new good saga, especially without Akira Toriyama, and continue Dragon Ball Super, because in my opinion, Dragon Ball Super won't end anytime soon. We have over 100 chapters in the manga, and I think we'll have at least 200 chapters. So until 2035, I believe that the Dragon Ball Super manga will not end, guys. Or even longer, huh? The hitters are still unsolved, Black Frieza is on the loose, and we still need to know how Dama will connect with Super, because the superhero movie connected with Super. Here's the corrected text. The superhero movie connected with Super from the manga, and it's very likely that Daima will also connect, even if it doesn't seem to make sense, okay? There are plenty of holes, and you can try to fix them, okay? Possibility 2, Dragon Ball Daima Season 2. When I say that, a lot of people already get goosebumps, already think, wow, damn, it's all over, but calm down. The success of the first season may justify a second one, but they said new project, not continuation. And although Dragon Ball Daima was relatively well received, that happened because Dragon Ball is popular, in my opinion, because Dragon Ball fans themselves weren't that enthusiastic, at least the generations I mentioned there. Maybe those who are very young and haven't had much contact with Dragon Ball liked it, or those who don't watch it with high expectations, or watch it just for fun. As for Daima itself, I went in with the mindset of watching it just for fun, so I was able to enjoy it, but I didn't think it was going to be Dragon Ball Z or Dragon Ball Super, because it's Dragon Ball Daima, another anime, another idea. However, Torishima, he was Akira Toriyama's editor during the production of Dragon Ball, and was responsible for changing several ideas that ended up making Dragon Ball significantly more successful. He himself, yes, was one of the people who helped Akira Toriyama reach the level he did. He gave a recent interview saying that Toyotaro is a reasonable manga artist, and that Dragon Ball Daima would have been better if it had used the old formulas from the Dragon Ball Z fights. In other words, he went there and stated the obvious, so I believe they will learn from their mistakes, especially because I saw an interview with Akio Iyoku the other day, in which he said that Dragon Ball Daima divided opinions, so he knows that Daima pleased some but also displeased others. So I believe that in the next one, he will use a more conservative formula, because even though he is Akira Toriyama's right-hand man, he does not understand the Dragon Ball community that deeply, so much so that I also recently saw him taking some trips to the United States, and there he noticed how popular Dragon Ball was outside the country, how people thought about Dragon Ball, what people expected from Dragon Ball, so he's learning, and soon his executive decisions will start to improve in this case. What do fans really want? Possibility 3, a Dragon Ball reboot, yes. A faithful adaptation of the original manga without fillers, modern animation from Toei, and something that many fans have been asking for years. So, in my opinion, taking the original Dragon Ball manga and adapting it faithfully 100% without anything different would be such a fantastic thing, so absurd and so much better than Dragon Ball Super that it would probably be better, more profitable, and more hyped than Dragon Ball Super, because a lot of people... Have you heard of Dragon Ball? It's very famous, but you've never watched Dragon Ball, so for sure, this possibility is very good. Some people say that a reboot isn't necessary, but in my opinion, a reboot would be good. Dragon Ball Z will always have its charm because it's an old animation, but if they make it with the quality of Daima, only in the style of Z, man, in my opinion, it will be much, much better. Much better. Let's not be nostalgic. Possibility 4, a new movie. There were rumors before Daima started that there would be a new movie and that this movie was already in production. Toriyama's death may have delayed it, but historically, movies are announced at events just like this. And well, that's not all. Hironobu Kageyama, the legendary singer of Chala Hechala and all the epic songs from Dragon Ball Z, will be performing live. When you bring Nozawa, Iyoku, and Kageyama together at an event, my friend, it's because something big is coming. So today I'm going to show you all the details of the event so you can follow along when you get there. Even though I'll be bringing you all the news, I'm going to get to work. But if you want to be there when these announcements are made, let's get to the date. It will take place on January 25th, 2026. It will be an in-person event in Japan, but I can find the Twitter accounts of some people who are there at the event and will provide information in person. Maybe I'll even start a live stream, guys, so we can follow everything. So be subscribed here, subscribe to the channel, and if you haven't liked it yet, with all this news, go ahead and like it, okay? Admission will be free, but you need to pre-register, so if you you live right next to Japan, if you just have to cross the street to get to the event, then go ahead and pre-register. The event will start at 9 a.m. in Japan. If there is a live broadcast, you can be sure that I will cover everything here on the channel, and even if I don't, I will find a way to get in there, even if it means making friends with the Japanese. If I had to bet on everything, I'd say a new movie is the safest bet, okay? The return of the manga may be announced at Jump Fest, and something completely unexpected will come because it's Dragon Ball, right? But to be honest with you, and it always surprises us, no one expected Superhero to be in 3D, so let's keep an open mind. Deal, what would you like most? Leave it in the comments. Your opinion is very important.